Welcome back. And as we earlier said in our intro, that Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli was in St. Catherine to follow up the final stages of the Transfiguration project, which aims at turning the sacred mountainous area into a spiritual shrine, as it is one of the destinations, best touristic destinations, and also a medical and environmental source for tourism also. The project aims at replanning the city and protecting it as a natural reserve. And with us live over the phone is Dr. Islam Al-Gammal, a tourism expert. Good morning, Dr. Islam. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. A good day to you.
Good morning.
Right. Okay. Can you lower the volume of the TV, your TV set, and talk to me from your handset?
Is that okay?
You can turn it off, the TV set.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So let's begin with the general idea about this site, this particular site of the Great Transfiguration, and what exactly is the importance of that particular project for the tourism sector and for spiritual tourism, as this is one of the most attractive types of tourism for certain visitors who come at a certain time of the year.
Yes, sure. The project is prominent for the Egyptian tourism, since it includes the development of 4 areas around the monastery of St. Catherine, including Mount Moses and the monastery garden. So that it becomes a special shrine due to its rare trees. So it has like 4 beautiful trees there. There will be 3 wells, 3 historical springs, and an olive press. And it is all within the standards that the St. Catherine area registered space, because it's registered in the UNESCO World Heritage in 2002. And also it is considered one of the most prominent projects funded by the the Urban Communities Authority of the Ministry of Housing, in coordination and cooperation with the Ministry of Environment. Also, the tourism and local development is included in the planning of the area, and the state of consultancy following its development, because of its high status linked to the importance of the unique sacred spots in the land of Egypt.
Explain to us what exactly is the Transfiguration, the Great Transfiguration, and how is it important? Was it important the story at its own right? Because probably visitors who are interested, they have to get a prior cultural information about the Great Transfiguration.
Yes, the place itself is so important since hundreds and hundreds of years. So at the moment we are transforming the place into a huge spot that would attract so many people around the world, visitors and tourists. The project itself will have like some phases. The first phase of the project will include the implementation of 14 projects. That would include the development of existing ecologies, because there are some ecologies there, but it's not as we wish. It has to be much developed to the standards we aim to. There will be the construction of new ecology, construction of Peace Square, and construction of mountain hotels. There will
exactly. But before we delve into this information, the story of the Great Transfiguration in its own right, it has a significance in history.
The project itself, or the place of St. Catherine?
No, the story behind the Great Transfiguration.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is that the story, the place itself is very unique for hundreds and hundreds of years. So we are missing a lot of opportunities. With this project, we are trying to get the opportunities we deserve in this area, because it's very sacred, and it has the 3 religions. The people who are like from the 3 religions, they can visit this spot, which is very rare around the world.
But do everybody know the story? I'm talking about the story. Do everybody knows it?
No, not everybody know the story of St. Catherine.
We need to reflect it. We need to say it.
The place of Saint Catherine, you know, when Moses came to talk to Allah in this spot, there's like some scared trees. There are monasteries that like Christian can visit. There are mosques. There are some sacred areas. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to develop it to make it a spot that is very attractive for tourism, and it has to be developed in a high standard with the environmental standards and the sustainable development. Also, the environmental ministry is trying to study the risks around making this development, because the place itself is very fragile.
Right. So the state at the current stage and for years has been keen on the private sector's participation, because the private sector is a big supporter, of course. So this is considered one of the huge projects, and like I earlier said, it's one of the best sources for national income. So has there been any participation from the Chamber of Tourism companies regarding these projects, this kind of projects like the transfer?
Yes, I believe that everybody contributed in the planning and consultancy of the project. For example, the project itself is funded by the Ministry of Housing, the City of the Great Transformation, also a project based on developing and raising the efficiency of hotels currently in the city by the Chamber of Tourism, okay, and hotels. Also, the environmental ministry is contributing by ensuring that the standards, the environmental standard in the site and the heritage identity of the holy city stay the same. The hotel itself will be established within the city, is scheduled to be an unconventional architecture style that is very close to the area, so that it reflects the distinctive, unique and diverse identity of the city.
So do you think it would be possible that there will be some additions to this project and proposals from the tourism companies, the private tourism companies, such as, like, for example, installing a cable car? Because actually this is something very important, and that will help people explore the panoramic view, and also for the location in its own right. Did some tourism companies submit proposals or participate directly to do something of that kind?
Well, this is a huge investment, another huge investment. At the moment, there are some developments for small electric golf carts, and, for example, to transport visitors from the parking areas to the monastery. Also, they are creating a pedestrian path, and also for the another path for the camels as means of transportation to the monastery. You know, the area there is very difficult, and any project needs a lot of investment. So what they are trying to do is trying to enhance the accessibility first, and perhaps in the future there will be consideration of such ideas. I'm sure that you know, tourism companies and perhaps the need of the tourists who are visiting the area will be some sort of motivation for other ideas to be invested in.
That's true. So, of course, this project is going to provide job opportunities, and it's going to open the horizons of the Ministry of Tourism to be able to promote for other touristic plans in accordance with the Great Transfiguration project. In other words, there could be some business, like for example, the Great Egyptian Museum. There are other businesses that are affiliated and related to the Great Egyptian Museum. The same thing is going to happen with the Great Transfiguration. Maybe there could be some business of like garments, like books and magazines that talk about the Great Transfiguration, some T-shirts, mugs. I mean, an area that is surrounding where you can eat and leisure time, or a movie theater that could play cultural feature that talks about the Great Transfiguration, things of that course. Did it cross their mind?
Well, the project also includes setting up bazaars. Yes, you can sell T-shirts, mugs, and this is, motivating entrepreneurs from the indigenous community, from the Bedouin and Sinai youth to contribute in such bazaars and like be creative, be innovative, do whatever they like, sell whatever they like. Also, there will be some medical herbs that they like to sell there, and it's very, very beneficial for all tourists and visitors as well. In addition to providing directional signs for all of that. Also, there will be plenty of job opportunities offered during also the construction and operation. You know, even now, during the construction, there are so many jobs for engineers and for other people who can contribute in the construction phase. Also, after the operation, there will be also the Bedouin village, for example, that will be including many practices and activities that require Sinai youth to participate in the job vacancies offered inside the village. So there will be what I can say, life there. There will be life, you know, there will be families, there will be people working there. And I believe that even tourists would love to work there because the area is very peaceful and is very attractive for all people around the world. Anybody visited the area, they would love to come back and visit it again. So I'm sure that it will attract so many people around the world with so many job opportunities, but I think the priority will be for the Egyptians and the Sinai youth to contribute in these jobs offered in the area.
Some people said that also there are worries, in spite of the fact that this is very encouraging, it's very optimistic that we're going to invest on that particular spot and spiritual tourism is going to bloom and all that, but some other people warned of the challenges that might threaten the sacredcy of the place, the spirituality, the tranquility of this area and the mountainous area, regarded as one of the best climatic and environmental, free of pollution, as a natural resource and all that, they couldn't be invaded by mega projects that might ruin the tranquility and the sacredcy of the place.
Well, any project has some risk. But with careful planning, with the sustainable planning, with environmental planning, with the contribution of everyone, we try to avoid such consequences or to reduce it to the or minimize it. Okay? So I believe that the project will be successful from my point of view, as the tourism ministry is planning with a strong vision, and we can't really compare the new sites to other sites, for example, like the pyramid sites. Because the pyramid sites, for example, there are some practices that is embedded in the culture of the indigenous community that are living there. Okay, so it's not comparable because every spot in Egypt has its own characteristics, and we cannot actually compare. And I don't want you to be worried because there are so much effort is put there. So we can't we can't compare it to other sites. But anyway, with careful planning, with sustainable planning, we can avoid all these worries, or reduce it, or minimizing these worries, you know.
In other words, I was trying to say that this mega project, which is very promising and very successful, by the way, and it's one super duper idea, there should be some consideration of an environmental, environmental experts that could monitor the whole project. Regarding or considering climate change regularities and considering all those facts, those elements should be taken in consideration. Is that taken in short?
Sure, yes. You know, when we try to develop something in the new era now, we have to balance between three agendas: the economic, environmental, and social. So we have some objectives in relation to the community, how they can benefit from such a project. Also, we have consideration for the environment, how we are going to minimize any potential negative impact on the environment, because this is a very very rare area. You know, it's very fragile, very fragile. So we can't go and use all the construction, for example, machines and stuff like that. Everything is considered in relation to even the construction and operation. So the balance between social, environmental, and economic agenda in such site is very important and is taken into consideration. So we call it sustainable development, sustainable tourism development in the area of St. Catherine. So with this balancing agendas, we are trying to minimize the negative impact and maximize the positive impact of the development.
Right. On that note, of course, Islam Gammal, you are a tourism expert. Would like to thank you so much talking to the Breakfast Show, and you have a good day. We're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue the show, so stay with us.